All I got on my brain right now is mountains, mountains, mountains. Can't wait to get there. Michelle and I are going Wednesday, and I made a post in the Facebook group, the main group, so I'm gonna go check that out. But I think I'm ready for the mountain. So if that's the case, I'm gonna need some more cars because I always want to leave something up there, and then have the ability to go back and forth and have a car up there and be able to enjoy it when I'm making impromptu trips up to the house that I'm hoping to buy. So how this all came about, I've been thinking about this a ton lately. And for the last 10 years of my life, I've been thinking about this. And we went up last year, and then of course we made the offer on the house in the Highlands, and it didn't work out. They just didn't appraise, and the people weren't interested. And, it wasn't even really, it still has never really been listed for sale. I should have bought the darn thing because now it's probably worth $1 million more. So I should have just come up to what they were asking, because now I'd have to pay $1 million more for it if I were to buy it. So just to bring you up to speed, I know I've told you this 100 times, but the dream, get a house in the mountains, outfit it my way. Appliances, kitchen, organization, closets, do full OG spec garage, have the entire garage set up, have, everything stocked, all the detailing stuff, and have everything available for me and anybody else who would be there. Have it just, it doesn't even have to be anything especially different than what my current house is like, or any house that I've ever been in is like. It would just need to be done. I just need to do it and live it and enjoy it and continue to improve it as I learn new things, and every time I'm up there, do something different. The other thing I realized, that if I buy a really nice house, and if I'm not there, it doesn't even have to be done to be like a good borrow for somebody. These wheels are really nice. The only thing I don't love is the center cap, but I have a solution for that. Offsets are perfect. These are from a company called Signature Wheel. Check them out. They're really good. I like them a lot. Got my squeaky waterproof shoes on. That's the secret trick with carbon ceramics and squeak. You get pad material that builds up that you just got to get out of there. So just blow it out with your pressure washer. I buy a house, and the house, the ultimate goal is to be in the Highlands, to have a place in the Highlands, North Carolina. But it's just, Michelle and I've been looking probably every single day for the last year and a half at every single house that comes for sale. I have multiple realtors looking, and I just can't find anything. You know how you guys are always on me about buying really nice cars and then modifying them? Like, I don't want to buy a fixer-upper. I just don't have that in me at this point in my life. I don't want to do that. I want to buy a house that's like 75% of the way there, and I'll just bring her on home. Because I can't, especially if it's the first house up there and I don't have anywhere to stay. And I'm telling you, go try to rent a really nice house anywhere in the mountains. You spend hours and hours and hours, and you're just going to find nothing but mediocrity in a place that you really don't want to stay at, and you're going to spend a fortune. Like this little house that I rented, this little 1,500 square foot house, is like $5,600 a week to rent. It's just garbage. I mean, it's just... let me rephrase it. This house that I rented is the nicest I could find. It's not garbage. But it's not like what I would want to do. The couch and furniture is going to be terrible. It's going to be just mediocre. It doesn't even have a garage, let alone go in a garage stocked with all kinds of awesome stuff. So, you know, my original plan was we're building out the website. We're going to be doing HEFLA and the closet systems and the, you know, and the lighting and the home theater stuff and all the cool stuff that I'm interested in. We're going to do all that stuff on Destination Obsessed Garage. And then the plan was to build my house here. So I'm going to build it here. These wheels are so good. I just can't believe how much I like them. I really didn't like them when I opened them up. And then I kind of liked them when I put the tires on them. And now I love them on the car. It's like offsets will do that for you. A little bit of concave in the rear there. You see that? It just looks really good with the big old yellow brake calipers. It's freaking awesome. So, build the house here. But my gut is telling me, I talked about this. So if you're ever interested in business and the numbers and statistics and all that stuff, and you want to go become a member of Inside the Hex, because I've got a lot of material coming up here that I'm going to share there about the numbers and the data and the discovery process of building a real estate business. It's really kind of what I'm doing. Now, for me, the purpose of this real estate business is to cover the cost, is so that it's not a loss leader. You know, I don't want to have a bunch of losses from, you know, owning these properties in the mountains. I want to have it, you know, break even, make a few bucks. We're going to be able to attribute lots of sales of product, so these will be extremely profitable, I think, is my wager, you know, long term. But, you know, if the property's going to sit there, if I have these houses, you know, I need muses. I need something to go in and do all the cool stuff that I do to a house to sell the product so people can really see how it looks and feels, you know, on camera. And so I've realized I don't like doing other people's houses very much. I'd rather do my own. And so unless I'm going to go out and start doing everybody else's house and garage, which I'm not particularly interested in, I need more things to do. And I think Michelle will kill me if I want to move every 6 months. And so I think my methodology is sound. I think all of you, I have the right people to participate in this idea. So why not? So, but the reason why I'm doing this now is a couple of reasons. We finally decided to relent on, all right, we'll do the Highlands, but we'll do it some other day. You know, we're just not ready for that. You know, a Highlands house is going to be, around $3 million to do, just to purchase the thing. And then, because I'm looking for something, 4,000 to 5,000 square feet, and looking for something with an awesome garage, which none of them have, like none. And I'm looking for something that, again, is ready and primed to make it OE plus. And it's just not in the cards there. These are a lot of older properties, and so I'm eventually either going to have to buy some property there, or I'm going to have to buy something and gut it. So I've widened my search, and the other corridor that I love a lot is the Wolfpen Gap corridor, the area like around Blairsville, Blue Ridge, LEJ, Cleveland, you know, these Hiawassee, that area of the mountains is also great. It's way more accessible to Atlanta. So, and then very easy, it's a very easy, fun drive up to the Dragon and Hellbender, which I'm telling you, if you spend any time in the North Georgia corridor there around 60, Highway 60 and around the Wolfpen Gap, you know, you could spend all your time there and never you can go up to the Dragon. You can take a couple-hour jaunt over to the east side of the mountains and do all the Pisgah and all that stuff. It's great. Oops, into the tire. This is my favorite thing to do, is to do a tire right after getting it prepped, because then this application of dressing really takes. Contemplating sending this car to Ryan and have PPF done on it, but I like it without it. It makes the washing so much more fun. So I've got 8 houses I'm going to look at. I think I feel it. I feel it in my gut. I'm going to be getting one of these, and then we're going to proceed to get it all dialed in. And then we're going to get that sucker up and available so when I'm not there, somebody can use it. So, again, we're talking about a house I could probably rent for 10 grand a week, especially after I set it up the way it's set up and what you're going to get. And what I intend to do, and maybe I'm naive, we'll see how it works, but I intend to rent it out. I think the numbers can work. Rent it out either like $750 a day or 5 grand a week. And, you know, so that precludes a lot of you. Now I'm going to do all kinds of cool stuff where I'll do like giveaway weeks and do different kind of promotions where people will have an opportunity to go and experience it. So we'll block out some weeks for that. It'll be cool to, you know, have different incentives with employees to, you know, incentivize them to be able to go up and stay. And I'm just going to make it really awesome. And because I'm going to be up there, let's say 10 times a year, you know, I'll be fixing stuff and dialing stuff in all the time if, you know, if somebody goes and kind of messes something up a little bit here and there. But I'm telling you, I know you people, you're not going to mess it up. And, you know, 1 out of 100 will. But at that price point, you know, most people are pretty intelligent. They're not entitled. The people that are entitled are the ones that generally don't spend the money on things or can't. Then they trash stuff. They rent cars and ruin them. They take a hotel room and make a mess. But most of us, especially SOG types, take care of stuff. So I know you think I'm naive in this, but I'm supremely confident that we can do this and make it an enjoyable experience without all the, I'm not your freaking concierge. You're borrowing my house for money. That's it. Break something, you fix it. Don't give a crap that you're paying money for something. Do the right thing. So I got all my wheels out here because I'm going to clean them up, and I rented a storage unit because we want to really start getting the warehouse set up, prepared for our racking that's coming in a month and a half. And so I got all my wheels out here because we're going to take them over to storage. These are all the stock wheels. Yeah, so the this concept, I just know it because I want to buy it so badly. I want to get a place and borrow somebody else's place like this so badly. I'd be in the mountains all the time if I had somewhere I could go. And I only need 20 people. 20, let's say 30 people would be even better, because then they probably will make some money for me. But you pay $5,000. That's what I'm hoping I can make the numbers work. Maybe it's $5,250 or something. And you get the house for a week. 7 days. So now the other thing I'm considering is, you know, I would love to have a car there that I could also let you borrow. And let's say the car is $1,000 a week. And what I posted in the group was, should we, you know, I would rather it be a manual just for me, you know, and get a car, and I'm going to set the car up so that I actually want to drive that car, whatever it is, when I'm there. So the one house that I'm hoping to buy is an oversized 3-car. So what I would do is I'd put an auto stacker in there. I'd leave the 2-car completely open, the 2-car bay open. And then I would have my car, like let's say the GT4 I left up there. So the GT4 will be on top of the auto stacker, so you could check it out. You could put it down, take a look at it, you know, sit in it, do whatever you want to do. I just don't want you driving my car. At least this car, let's say. I mean, I'm sure I could be talked into it. But, you know, let's say that my GT3 Touring is there. I don't care if you get in it and touch it. And I just don't want you washing it or driving it, if I can help it. And, but that'll be on the top of the auto stacker. And then the M3 that I would buy, I just think an M3 is probably going to be the way to go, because every time, you know, I can get new M3s way easier. I can get any kind of Porsche. And then, you know, I'll spec out the M3 and I'll go, like I'll do the, you know, let's say I did a G80, I'd do, you know, exhaust and suspension and wheels and tires, and you don't have to do brakes on a modern BMW because they have awesome brakes on them. And then, you know, I was posing the idea of, you know, I would like to do a manual, but I think I'm leaning towards doing being smart about it and just doing the ZF automatic, and letting you rent that from me, borrow it from me. And another couple cool things I'm thinking about implementing is, if you're going to borrow it that week, before you leave, you got to wash it. One, because I want the car washed, and two, I want you to use all the stuff. I just have to figure out how I would ensure that. I don't think it'd be too terribly difficult. All these companies do that stuff all the time. That rent out cars. Just don't mess it up, you know. I know you think I'm stupid, but just don't mess up the car. Take care of it. If you don't curb wheels and don't run off the road, and take care of it like it's your own. If you mess something up, own up to it. I'll probably just say, whatever, man, I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. But just be honest about it. And I think we can have a really cool thing. Yeah, I think I would get just get the ZF Auto M3, and I'd get a new one every year. So that way, you know, let's say the car has, 8,000 miles on it or something like that at the end of the year, 5,000 miles. And, let's say if you had 25, 30 people come in the year, and each person drove, 1,000 miles, I guess that'd be 30,000 miles, wouldn't it? So maybe it would have more miles than that. You're not driving 1,000 miles if you're in the mountains. You drive 1,000 miles if you drove to the mountains, but you're only going to drive maybe 500. So I guess it would have, 15,000 miles a year, something like that. Let me go get a wash pad. But man, I'm telling you, I just feel it. This is going to be so good. The videos are going to be awesome. It's just so consistent with what it is I'm interested in. It's much more entertaining than the product heavy stuff that I've been doing the last few years. It's when we build the house and I put all the stuff in it, I already know what the feel of that video is going to look like. It's going to look much less how-to and just more transformative. I did it again. Just show you, here's the results, bring you along the process. And then I just know that doing these videos we'll have a freaking waiting list for people to borrow these houses, or this house. And I'm going to have to do another one, which is going to be super exciting. Just can't wait. And so the reason why I'm chasing this now is because I'd mentioned I'm just so nervous about building a $3 million house here that will not be rented out, that is going to have massive supply chain delays. And I'm just not equipped. I don't have the money to weather that kind of storm, especially with the investment I'm making in payroll and employees and the chase here and the inventory of products that I need to purchase in order to get to where I think we're going. So, I'm just going to take out a loan, get the house, put 20% down, get the thing performing, save a bunch of money, get another loan, take out another 20% down. It's going to be some leverage, but if the houses are covering their costs and then some, shoot. But I just know it. 20 of you that are watching here have to come borrow the house. And even if you have cool stuff, it's just, oh man, it's going to be so freaking good. I'm getting so excited. I want to cancel my Wednesday trip and go there right now. So, yeah, it's, and then from a personal perspective, the main thing I'm excited about, I just need to get up there. I need to start driving. The mountains have healed me many times. I want to get on the road and just be able to go wherever I want to go and do whatever I want to do instead of being confined in this little 3-mile radius that I've been stuck in the last year or so. So I am super, super pumped for this. Hope you will be too. Even if you're resistant to it and you say this is stupid, I think you're going to like it. Because ultimately, none of this works if nobody cares. Nobody wants to borrow the house. Nobody wants to watch the videos. And I promise it's going to be good for you to watch. Because just think about, Mike and I are going to go up there. So let's say I buy this one house that I think I'm going to buy in Cleveland, Georgia. Mike and I are going to go up there for a month. And Kyle and the team's going to design it. Laurel's going to come up, my interior designer, order all the furniture, get everything moving, get the, we're going to, do all the bulk of the things. I mean, the project will never be done. Every time I go up there, I'm going to buy something, do something cool, make some sort of improvement. But take a really nice house, make it OEM plus, figure out the car situation. But I think most people that borrow it, you're going to take your own car there. So that's another thing. People are like, well, you're like the family. Like, you're really not going to fly there. Most people aren't going to get a car service. Car service will cost as much as the flight to get there. So most people are going to rent a car. So you're going to have a rental or a Turo. And then you have the option for the family. Then you have the option to rent, you know, my car that's there, the G80 M3 that's there, if you wanted to. I think what most people would do is they get there, say, I don't want to rent it, and then you talk yourself into it when you got there. So the car would more than cover its depreciation cost. And then you rented a Tahoe or something like that, or you rented a car that you'd drive around with the family. And so that's why I'm thinking I could do a manual if I wanted to. Because a lot of people, again, they're going to bring their own car there. I'm telling you, you want your own car in the mountains. It's so good. But those of you who live in the West Coast that still want to come out and see what it is I'm talking about, how awesome it is there, you're not going to get your car there unless you're going to spend $6-7 to ship it across the country. But I think you could probably do that. And then the lesson I learned is I'm not going to make this too complicated. Like, this isn't a concierge service. It's like, here's the house, you pay the money, house will be clean, car will be clean. You know, you're borrowing it. You're not renting. Oh, shoot, I missed that spot. I didn't do the roof. You're not renting it, you're borrowing it. You're just covering the cost of that. You go to the grocery store, get your own stuff. I'll have towels and soap there. And I'll have it cleaned every time somebody leaves. But, you know, when you leave, wash the car, throw the towels in the laundry that you used. You don't have to worry about the bedding. I'll have somebody take care of that. Just throw it in the washer. And, you know, treat it like you were my buddy, borrowing my house. I'll have somebody on speed dial. So I'm going to have crazy amounts of videos on this property. And we'll make like a how-to video series. So I know that what you'll do, what I do, if you're going to go on vacation, especially if you're going to spend $6,000 on a vacation, you got another $1,000 in there, $2,000 in travel. So you're going to spend $7,500. You're going to take the whole family on vacation. Then after you book it, before you book it, you're going to be watching all kinds of videos. And then after you book it, you're looking for all the information you can get. Well, I'm going to have that all. You know, where do you go eat? Where do you go whitewater rafting? And it'll all be in 4K 60 frame or 4K 24 frames. Beautiful videos that'll all be on Destination OG. That'll also be on the YouTube channel. You know, oh man, it's going to be so freaking good. But, you know, I'll have somebody on speed dial, you know, me, or, you know, we'll have like a backup plan where we'll have available, because this would be easy to do, where, you know, something's not going right, you just call and we'll take care of it. Shoot, I forgot to do the door jams. I'm getting too excited. But man, I just can't wait to envision, you know, doing wash and talks, wash and drives. I'll have people come up, bring their car up to do wash and drive. You know, Waba and Chris will come up and we'll shoot 4 or 5 mountain wash and drives a month when I'm there. But like I said, I suspect now I'll just block off weeks that for me, but I suspect that there's going to be too much of a demand for this. Especially after a few of you go there and get to experience it and get to raid the detailing cabinet with all the cool stuff. The other thing I'm considering is that let's say you were planning, you were going to do a garage design. Let's say if you spent 25 grand, you get the week for free or something like that. So if you're going to do your garage, we'll give you a week so you can go out and experience everything. Give you a good feel for what, you know, what your house could be like if you set it all up. There's just so much I can do. It's gonna be great, and I'm doing it. So I'm postponing the house here, and I'm going to change the freaking world. Crap, I hope the sun's not messing this up. Let's probably try a bunch of different leaf blowers here, a bunch of different egos. So in all this goodness I'm talking about, the best news is that I'm now an ego dealer. I just placed my first order, but I want to decide which one of these I like the most. It's always been the 580. The only one I don't have here is the 530. So I have the 580, 615, 650, and 765. Yeah, the 765. So let's do the 580 first. Where's the number? 650. That's the 650. This is the 615. This is 580. Let me put the apex tip on here. Yeah, that's the 580. So let's do the 615. Oh, that's right. This is my prototype. And then I've got tape on there. So this was the first production prototype there. Shoot. I wonder I couldn't get it off. So this is the 615. I'm telling you, 580 is better than this. Now this is the 650. So the 580 just feels more intense than the 615. The 615 feels like it's huffing a little harder. I'm telling you, this one is brutally harsh, how loud it is. So, but there's definitely more output on the 650 than the 580. And then this is the 765. Let me go back to the 580 so I can swap back and forth. I don't know. I'm not loving the 765. Go back to the 765. Yeah, I don't know. The 765 is good. So I think it's either the 580 or the 765. I think that's the way to go. You got to use them more. So I'm going to do this every wash. I'm going to get all 4 of them out and just use them like this all the time. So let's go. Let's dry this puppy off. I'll start back here. I don't like starting in the back. I like starting in the front. Just keep using them like that and we'll figure out which one I like the most. How does that look? It's pretty good. So yeah, the Ego stuff should have a full suite here shortly, up and available for those of you that want to buy it from me. I'm super appreciative. The problem is I could have sold tens of thousands of them had I had them when I asked for them 3 years ago. You know, the thing that sucks is I'm gonna open up Pandora's box and then the floodgates will open. So I'm the one selling my soul to get it done, and then you know that they're going to use that to go sell to all the other copiers. Yippee skippy, yay for me. So I'm going to have to make my own stuff in the future. So, you know, they've been saying no for so long. Because I've been persistent, they finally say yes. Then they're going to watch and see how I do. And then they're going to use that to go sell to all the other goofs that don't know anything about them, that just want to sell stuff. Yeah, that's the way it goes. That's what happened with High Torque already. I told them. I said the goofs like JCR of the world, they're going to go in and come swooping in and copy. You're welcome to High Torque. You're welcome. You're welcome, JCR. We've been working on developing this for 6 weeks. No, you haven't. You've just been watching me and Dundon, and then you just frickin' copy. It's unbelievable. Find your own thing. Wow, we can't give you exclusivity because that's not how we do it. It's not what our agreement says with our other vendors. Well, then use a little bit of judgment of who's going to provide you some value and not just copy. But that's a struggle I've been in since day one. This is why I told you. Everybody always asks me, oh, why don't you get a JCR exhaust? That's why. I just knew it. I knew it from day one. When they was tagging us, me and Adam, in every frickin' post. Piggybacking. Instead of creating their own following. So, same thing will happen with Ego. And I just what am I going to do? Just keep moving at a pace that's hard for anybody to keep up. Just can't imagine. It feels so stupid. Be like, yeah, I really been hearing good things about your product. And I really want to sell it too. It's so stupid. I'd feel like such a loser if I had to watch what everybody else is doing and then just copy. Let's see. So it'd be funny to watch when other people start buying properties and trying to do the same thing. They'll wait. They don't want to take the risk. And then they'll start advertising to you guys, to the Obsessed Garage audience, to try to, get some janky version because they don't really know what they're doing, and try to sell it to you. Hide behind well, that's capitalism, man. That's how it goes. Those are the same guys using Max Shine polishers, thinking it's cool. We're just not going to do that. Winners win in the end. Copiers eventually lose. It's the way it goes. And then to add insult to injury, I have goofs who think I'm the copier. They accuse me of being the copier. That's funny. The difference is, I used to get really mad about it. I'm using my mad voice, but I promise you, I'm not mad about it. It's just I'm just used to it. It's just the way it goes. Get Mosmatic, MTM, Krenzla, AR, you name it. So I think the move in the future is to, like, I don't think exclusivity on products is the way to go anyway. So I'm working on figuring out ways to make it so that there's a benefit to the manufacturer and to me to work out some unique structures to where I don't feel like I'm getting screwed, but they don't feel like we're hoarding the product and not letting it spread its wings like it could. Let me do that last. Alright, let's see. So, I think the GT4 is going to stay. We'll find out when the Touring gets here. Again, my ultimate goal is to get a 997 and then get a 991.1 RS. So the 997 would be like my collector machine, and my the 991.1 RS would be the mountain machine. This would be the mountain machine. I like driving the GT4 around town. So I suspect I'm going to really like the 911, the GT3 Touring around town. That's my suspicion. Clean up the door jambs here. Forgot to wash them when I was doing the wash. Let's get too excited about Destination OG. Alright, we gotta do the wheels and tires, and what I'm gonna do is pull this in next door, cover it up, and pull the M3 out. I think I pulled another Acura, meaning for years I'd always thought, oh, yeah, man, maybe I should get the Acura exhaust for the E92. Everybody loves it. Maybe maybe it's really good. And I just always didn't get it. I'm like, my gut tells me no. It's all the Acura stuff is always just it's like a factory exhaust. It's like an OE exhaust made out of titanium is basically what they do. Their numbers are always nonsense. I just, I don't like the resonant frequency. I don't like what titanium sounds like. And then I always give in, and I get one, and I hate it. And so I think I've done the same thing with BBS. So I've always been reluctant to get FIRs or, and I just knowing that I'm not going to really like them very much. And sure enough, I got FIRs for my E92. Now my car's not lowered yet. I convinced myself, maybe my gut's just wrong. Everybody loves these things. They're, fit and finish on them is very much like Acura. It's just beautiful. Beautiful fit and finish. And then I get it and I don't like them. There's weak offsets, and so I bought $20,000 of wheels. Now, good news is I can sell them. But now I've got to go through the process of selling the darn things because I don't like them. So I don't know what I'm going to end up with on the M3. I should just leave it alone and stick with the 359 wheels. But these, I'm telling you, I don't love the center of how these look, these signatures. It's just a little chunky in the middle there. There's another version, so I plan to swap them off, and so there's another set of signatures that I'm going to try next. I forget what the model is. We're going to do those next. That take away some of that chunkiness in the center cap area. Just a little different style. Good news is we'll have the offsets dialed. Cup 2s also. Maybe it's a placebo, but I feel like the Cup 2s feel so much better to me than the unlocked. I'm probably just making that up in my head. Got a lot of wheel cleaning to do today. maybe just superficial clean. Just because when you put your wheels away, it's much nicer to handle them when they're clean. I got to put the Viper fans in. Make a video on those. I close on the lot here next week. It's a lot right next to us. So I'll own that lot, which is good news for the future. And then I'm hoping to build a building on it at some point in the near future. It's going to be a nightmare dealing with the town. They're going to be really annoying about it. So I really got to go have lunch with the city manager, schmooze him a bit. All right, that's done. Let's dress our tires, and we got ourselves a clean GT4. Gonna take next door. Coating and everything's holding up nicely. Let's clean these up, dress the tires, pull the car in, cover it, come out, clean lots of wheels. I got to start to clean out the attic because I'm going to take all the car parts over to the storage unit. And I'll have a good Sunday. At some point I'll bug out of here and go to Earth Fair, get some carnivore food for a couple of days because, again, we're heading to the mountains. So let's just do a little drying aid on here. Oops. These wheels are easy to clean. Again, I wasn't wild about the finish or the color of the finish. The fit and finish of these is fantastic. So Jimmy and the guys at Signature have really dialed that in. If you're getting some Signature wheels, make sure to tell them you found out about them, or I talked you into it. You probably didn't find out about them from me, but I don't really get anything out of it. But just to convince them, I convinced them to sell them to me wholesale. I don't want anything for free. Just sell them to me wholesale. That way I could get out of them often and get new ones. It's the new tire dressing procedure. I really wonder if the marketplace would have found out about this being for tires. If I hadn't said, you know what, this thing is dumb. What am I going to do with this brush? Let me just ruin it. This might do okay on tires. Like, would everybody be using this as a tire brush right now? Do I get credit for it or not? Tend to err on the side of not, but who knows? Usually I don't like to dress the tires. That's the one thing that's bad about this brush. If you try to dress the tires when the ground is still wet, it's not great because it sops up water because it's so thick, plush. So it sops up the water if you touch the ground. So you're probably best served pulling your car in and dressing the tires then. I just have the camera out here and we're all set up and it's beautiful out this morning, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. I also like to take off the excess in between brushes or in between tires. I don't know, I feel like it gets caked up if I don't do that. Look how much quicker this is to do. Shoot. So that's a wrap, people. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. And going to see you a lot more often here. I got a lot of dirty cars. We're going to pull apart the Tesla this week, and I'm going to sell it. I'm going to list it for 65. You know, just looking at price. I said 70 just because I wasn't ready to sell it unless somebody really wanted to pay for it. So I think I'm going to list it for 65 grand. It has like 8,000 miles on it. I'm going to pull all the parts off it, sell all that stuff. So if you want any of the suspension, don't frickin' message me and say, what do you, just go to Mountain Pass Performance. You know I have every Mountain Pass Performance, all the arms, all the parts and pieces, all the suspension components. Go look it up. And then, take, say, 25 or 30% off of that, and that's what I'll sell it to you for. So don't play this game with me, sending me an email, hey, what are you thinking? What do you want for it? But just tell me what you're going to pay for it, and that's how you beat the system. Otherwise, I'm just going to delete it or ignore you, and then I'll place it for sale when I figure out the pricing on it, what I'm going to sell it for. So if you wanted the carbon ceramic brakes or any of that stuff, you'll let me know. Just shoot me an email, matt@obsessedgarage.com. But, just do it intelligently. Anyway, thanks for watching, and next wash and talk will be, some of the other cars, the E36 I'm going to pull out. It's buried back there. Barry keeps telling me the suspension's going to be here any minute, so I think he's done with them. So he wants to ship them all at once, and he's going to come down here, and we do Chronicles of a Master with them, and we're going to, to get the M2, M3, and M3 suspension set up. So anyway, thanks for being here. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. And hit me up if you want to book a week ahead of schedule, and we'll get you into the house. Hopefully we buy one this week. I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. See you soon.